It's so amusing to see the waves go crash down on me and drag me into the sea. Why is it so easy to be so indifferent to me when I wear my heart on my sleeve?
Welcome to Skechcraft, the podcast for art, design, and process junkies. I'm Rob Duenas, full-time designer, illustrator, and graphic artist esquire. This is an unedited podcast, which means there will be cursing from time to time, so please be aware. That said, here we go.
Like a willow tree, getting pulled down by gravity. By gravity. By gravity. By gravity.
And okay, hey, Rob Duenas here. This is Skechcraft, the podcast for art and design process junkies. However that worked out. I can never remember. So, hey, apologize for the quality of the recording. Again, I'm on the road coming back from PhoenixCon. I had kind of planned on doing a nightly update every night to kind of say to kind of show how each day went. But I sort of had some roommates with Big Dog Inc., the company I went with. So I didn't really get a chance every night to do that. And I was kind of burnt out every night anyway. It was really a struggle to get there the first day. However, the convention went really, really well. I just want to say, first off, thank you to all who came to PhoenixCon to say hi. There are those of you who listen to the podcast who came by because of the podcast, and I just want to say thank you. The rest of you are usually DeviantArt, so all you lurkers out there, just want to say thank you for your continued support. Tremendous. Not just, the financial portion, but really the verbal and moral support. It really just sort of helps. I mean, it really makes it all worthwhile. And as a fellow, I'm kind of a lurker myself, so I know not all of you get a chance or, really are inclined to say, oh, this is awesome because you feel weird or something. I just want you to know that I appreciate everything, truly. Okay, so let's get out of the way with that. And next up, how did it go? Like I said, it went really, really well. Thursday was awesome. Saturday I got there Thursday, so Friday was awesome. Saturday was even better, and Sunday was even better than Friday and Saturday. So I was so busy toward the end on Sunday that I just really even couldn't finish a couple of the commissions I took. This year I've been really light on doing sketches and commissions at conventions. Now, it's not so much that I don't like drawing at conventions, it's that because I tend to run my own little thing, I have a hard time being able to draw and sort of manage, the print sales and schmoozing, with all you fine folk. So what I've done, especially like at Tucson Con and in this con, is I really just sort of limit 4 or 5 slots. And they always fill up Thursday. And then I say, hey, or the first day, so if it's Thursday or Friday. They filled up Friday. And so then it's like, hey, hope you're here till Sunday because it's going to take me. I actually had planned on getting all the commissions done each night after the con, whatever I didn't get done during the con. But having some roommates and being sociable, while you're there and whatnot, really sort of took precedence. But I got a lot of the little sketches done. They're always fun to do. I mean, not my best illustrated efforts at conventions. I tend to like to work my compositions a little bit, even on the commissions that I do online through Deviant or Skechcraft.com, Facebook, yada yada. Insert plug. Even those commissions, I tend to put a lot more hours in that are ever going to be possible at a convention. Anywhere from 4 to 6 or 7, sometimes 8 hours. If I really sort of want to work something. But on the convention side, the upside is just you sort of get something there, and I know for me it's strange. As an artist, tend to not like to show people the really looser side of our art. Like I tend to draw kind of looser at first to get sort of the idea going. But I know as a fan, like as a fan of artists, let's say, if Greg Capullo had like a really rough sketch, in a book, I would probably appreciate that really loose sketch more than the final inked one, even though the final inked one is hella cool and hella detailed. Something about the raw, first sketch that, as an artist and a fan of art, has always sort of, interested me more. So I have to, let go of the... hold on one second. I have to sort of let go, the that side of my brain that's like, oh, draw a perfect drawing. And it's always funny, when you get books, people hand you books at cons to draw in. Half the time. Other time, you're just drawing your own thing. But when they hand you books, you get to flip through and see all the other sketches they collected. And this one in particular, fine gentleman named Benny, he wanted me to draw like a Cupid angel that I did for Big Dog Ink for issue 5 for Penny for Your Soul. And in the very first sketch in there is a Spawn head by Todd McFarlane, It's just hella cool. It's like, I kind of spent 30, 40 minutes just kind of tracing my finger over the lines, and just it's just really cool to be able to have any piece of art from someone that you sort of grew up with, or you're a big fan of, to kind of just it's a little weird, right? You're like, oh, I'm feeling the art, but it's very cool. It's very tactile, and you just don't get too many opportunities to see that sort of thing firsthand. Moving right along, the prints sold really, really well. Watercolor is awesome. All the Avengers stuff that I took sold out. All the actual artwork, I took the first 3 pieces, the Hulk, the Cap, and the Iron Man with me, and those original art sold. So to all you out there, Brandon, and then 2 other gentlemen that elude my name, your names elude me right now, so if you're listening, I apologize tremendously, but the Captain America went to a really cool guy, starts with a T, I'm so sorry. But he bought a lot of prints, and he just seemed like a really good fan. And I quoted a price that it was a struggle for him. And then towards the end of the convention, he asked, for another price. And to be perfectly honest, I mean, he was just a fan of the art. And I was like, you know what, we can do that. I'd much rather, as an artist, I'd much rather the art go to people who appreciate it than, some guy in a store somewhere who's going to sell it for twice as much, which is strange because for some reason the art seems to have no problem reselling for twice as much. But if it comes direct from me, it's always like, oh, that much, But that's the oldest, one of the oldest things I've ever heard in this industry beyond, prepared to lose all ownership of your art, that you do for any company kind of thing. But I'm fine with that, and he just seemed really happy, and I just, it was always the dream as a kid to go to Comicon or any convention for that matter, and to be able to sit behind the table and not just, move art, but to have people come over and looking for your stuff, and I guess we're as artists, at the end of the day, we're entertainers, maybe we're not on a stage, but the canvas, in some loosey-goosey kind of way, is a stage, and this is sort of like a little magic trick we do. It's a performance in many ways. And when someone really responds to it, when it means something to them, it's actually, I know it sounds all new agey and shit, but it really is. It's more to me than even the monetary side of things. So that really did well. And the Hulk piece, I was interested because the Hulk didn't seem to be getting as much love in Phoenix, and you can never really tell, to be perfectly honest, what will move at a convention. It changes, and each convention changes every year, so, you sort of plan ahead and you adjust as the convention rolls on. I've been pretty good the last few conventions for being able to spot the trends pretty quickly. I figured the Hulk would be 50-50 on this one, between him and Thor, but the Hulk, not as much love, but on Sunday, all the Hulk fans seemed to show up because everything wiped out of that, as well as the original artwork, which I was like, wow, that's crazy. But that sale came in really right toward the end, and that was really nice. It was really obviously a fan of the Hulk, and I was so happy to be able to put that in the hands of someone who cares. And usually with the commissions, I ship them out, so I never really get to always meet, okay, that's not really a firm statement, but I rarely get to meet the people that, in person, that buy art. So to be able to put those in the hands of people, personally is just a treasure. So, all right, so what's up next? What's going to happen next? Oh, first off, I want to say again, thank you to Big Dog Inc., Tom Hutchinson and his wife Kim, for truly providing just a platform for being able to sort of, get out there. I met Tom before there was a Big Dog Inc., and it was all sort of starting, and he really impressed me with just his personality, his demeanor, his enthusiasm, and his want to actually create something, Hickey. He has the formula. As a child, I used to always listen to Todd McFarlane and these guys talk about how they broke in. And the one thing that I always felt that was resonating to me, the one thing that sort of be consistent more than any other advice, was that they felt that they could add something, that they saw what was in the market and they felt there was something lacking and they thought they could add to it. And Tom really has that drive. He has that. And it's true. There is a spot for his vision, and I'm just really proud to be a part of it, and I want to say thank you again so much, Tom and Kim, for not just being great people, but for being creators as well as publishers. Tim's obviously a very talented painter too. She thinks not, but she really is. So she's just a wealth of talent, and so is Tom, and thank you so much. And then also another thanks to Natalie and Kyle Sanders. Natalie's a great artist over at Big Dog. She's come a long way in the last year, and you'll all get to know her if you don't. She's a tremendous artist. Does a lot of photoreal paintings, really great with likeness and rendering and painting, and she's just got a hell of a career in front of her. And then Genevieve and Shane Broomval, don't shoot me in the foot if I mispronounce that, But Jen and Shane were, again, nice people. It's so strange. It's like you think, oh, everyone says these people are nice. Could it be true? I wouldn't mention them if they were dicks. I would just be like, I don't remember. But they were really cool people, and her art is really awesome. She's gonna be doing all the secondary covers for Critter, so that's awesome. And Shane's just a nice, down to earth. These are really down to earth people. No pretensions about them. And then Ian Snyder and his wife came out. He's the artist for Ursa Minor. And I've gotten to know Ian a little bit over the last year. And it was good to see him relaxed. He was a little nervous at cons before, but he has a really good hand. And very 90s and Capullo inspired, as well as myself. We all have our inspirations. And he's got a tremendous illustrative ability. So I expect to see him at DC in a year or two, for reals. He's really good. So let's now that's all the way. We're out of the way. What else? What else is ahead? Well, on the road right now, Spot Road is ahead, and more desert. I got about 3 hours of fucking driving ahead of me, so that's fine. I do a lot of thinking out here. But in the near future, I'm going to render out the remainder of the Avengers stuff this week and get all those into the mail. When my printer told me that they could not make the deadline, I just did not rush the painting process last week. I just took a break, got all the remaining stuff for con done, and allowed myself to get fully rested before I went. So I'm recharged, really happy to go. These will all be done and shipped to you. For everyone who pre-ordered the Avengers sets, you rule. Thank you so much. You will be getting a nice collection in the mail very shortly. And I get to spend a few hours at the post office next weekend. That should be so much fun. After that, what is up? Well, I got a cover for Big Dog to do. I got the issue 7 for Penny for Your Soul alternate cover to get done. I have 2 projects I'm starting up. Should I talk about them now? Yeah, sure, why not? So I'm going to be starting the path to Monstroids. If you aren't aware of what Monstroids is, back in 2006, I was pitching a book with my friend Adam Kogan, whom I haven't talked to in a while. It's been a year. I gotta find him. But he and I were developing a book called Mosaic, and we spent a couple years from 2005, 2006 pitching it to every company known to man. And Image picked up, and Ape really wanted it. And unfortunately, Adam could not finish writing the book, even though we had sort of made a deal, because he's a game designer, and his life is insane. And he had a child, and I was like, damn, I don't know how you can manage all this. And he's like, something had to give, and the comic was it. But in lieu of that, Ape Entertainment had sort of pitched me to work on a book called Monstroids. Monstroids, like monster and like droids, Monstroids. And that was with, it was created by a man named Kevin Grievous, who sort of wrote and created the Underworld series. in the movies, and he's currently he created a movie. He wrote a movie and created it, coming out. It's being shot right now, called I, Frankenstein. So this was like a children's property, like a big 80s cartoon, like Transformers, He-Man, Ninja Turtles. He didn't see it that way. He sort of saw it as something older than that, but that's how I saw it, was this big 80s kind of like thing with monsters who were sort of rebuilt to blow up crime, like kind of like RoboCop, right? RoboCop, Turtles, and Transformers. So I worked on that. We put out a 0 issue. I got that done, and then we were trucking on with the series, and it just drug on between all the job changes I made and Kevin's schedule with scripts and business, what have you. It just fizzled out in the fall of 2008 into 2009, and unfortunately it could not get done. And there was this grand holding scheme on what to do with it, and I sort of figured it was done. I have tons of pages I've never shown off and character designs, and we had the whole first issue pretty much done. I think the last 2 pages had yet to be finished when it sort of petered out. And I sort of chalked it up to, well, fuck, which is unfortunate because I hate to give up anything. But that went away. And I've stayed in contact with Kevin, and every year he's like, oh, would you like to do this and that? And I haven't committed to doing anything sequential because of my work schedules. So now he really wants to move forward with the property. He has retained all the rights back to everything, and asked me if I wanted to continue to do it or start over, basically. And I said, so long as the production schedule is not, demanding, so I can knock out a page here or a page there every week, then yeah, I think that would be something I'd like to do. I'd like to have complete art direction, I mean, he and I really sort of see eye to eye on things, so he lets me do my thing, and I obviously, just, hey, keep writing, and so we're going to start that. Moreover to the point, because it's going to take me a little while to do, I'm going to start a section of the podcast called Making Monstroids. So as I put together updates, maybe once a month or so, I'll grab everything I have so far, and I'll just walk through what's sort of happening, short of putting the actual lettered pages, in there, so the story isn't completely ruined. You can still buy it and read and enjoy the final product as that comes out. But it's going to be a long process. I'm going to be doing lots of different things with this. When I last attempted sequentials between Monstroids and this book called Death Jr. I was working on, I drew everything. I drew all the backgrounds and lines, typical comic book, and then handed it to a colorist, and Diego was my colorist. He did his thing. This time I'm going to be handling all chores because I don't have enough to do, right? But what I wanted to do is I'm going to be drawing all the characters really, really well. And in the backgrounds I'm going to lay out, but I'm going to do more digipaint with the backgrounds. So it'll have more of an animated feel where the backgrounds are a little looser, a little more painted, textury, but the characters are hand, they have all the rendering. And then just to sort of, one, move it forward a little faster, because these things drag on. And two, I really enjoyed the digital painting side of things, and I like to add a lot of atmosphere to my art. If you've seen, I did a couple quick speed paints last month to sort of warm up and get a feel for how I want to do things. And if you've seen those, then you'll sort of understand where I'm coming from. There's just things you can do in color that, I can't put down in black and white. And to ask another colorist to sort of do it always just brought me trouble and sort of made sometimes my colorists feel like they weren't doing enough, which was never true. Diego is a fantastic artist, but I sort of always felt like he when I would go, like this, it was like, as artists we always feel like, we're not doing it right. What's wrong with this? It's perfectly fine, and that's true, but it wasn't the vision. And I think for me, I have too much. Unfortunately, or fortunately, however it works out, I have too much vision when I work. I see it a certain way, and now it seems I have the ability, the talent to actually execute that. I'm not as fast as I would like to be, but I can execute the vision, which is all I give a shit about right now. And I really have always wanted my own toy like thing, So this is just going to be a lot of fun. So I'm willing to start that, Monstroids, and then intermittently I'm going to see how this works out. I'm going to test the waters, but I want to do a webcomic. I don't know how often I can update. So it will pretty much only be available on DeviantArt randomly throughout a year or so before I can start to collect them, put them on a main website, and then see how quickly, because I want to build up speed with sequentials, but I don't want to have to do 24 pages in the release. So I've been developing a couple webcomics, 2 of them actually, with a friend of mine, James Bacon, who worked with me at GameFan for a while. And James is a really great writer and a good friend. And he knows I like to write too. I do a lot of my own. I have tons of stuff, people. You've always wondered. I've gotten questions. Oh, Rob, do you have your own books and ideas? And yeah, I got tons of them. But I spent the first part of my life writing tons of stuff and coming up with ideas, and then I realized I couldn't draw them, so I've spent the last sort of 10 years or so getting my art up to speed. So now I'm going to start them, but because I don't want to draw 2 books at once, on top of commissions and everything else, because I don't think it's possible, what I want to do is start a webcomic. So it's just a strip here, or, maybe like the Sunday strip style where it's like the 2 there, And then I'm going to work an on-again, off-again sort of a relationship, between that and Monstroids. And that right now, the first one I'm going to do is called Super Dungeon Heist. And this is the first I've talked about it openly. And there'll be a lot more to this, but it's called Super Dungeon Heist, and it's kind of like Final Fantasy Tactics meets Ocean's 11. So I've spent a lot of time sort of conceptualizing this stuff out, and I can't wait for James to be able to actually see it, because he always wonders if I'll come through, and I will. But all the production for this, all the making of, the character designs, what it takes to get done, will be touched on throughout this podcast. This podcast is really just 0.1% of what I want it to be. First, it was a way for me to sort of arrange my projects and show step by step what I do. And then because I have so many fucking opinions and and experiences in the industry that just don't get talked about, because it can cost people careers. I, on the other hand, don't really care what people think, My employers, I don't throw anyone under the bus, but if they don't want me to talk about the shit they create, they should not create so much shit. And if the industry wants to blacklist artists for talking about the realities of what it takes, it's really strange, because just because something's difficult doesn't mean that it isn't unwelcome, or I don't want to say unwelcome, but not worth it, or it's fucking hard to be getting to the Olympics. I imagine a lot of people shit on you, and it's a day in, day out struggle to get done. But to me, that struggle, that everything you go through, and then, hey, look, here's what was produced, that struggle is part of the experience, And if it's unnecessary struggle, maybe a little light on the subject would get people to stop acting like complete assholes. But, not naming names, but you're out there. You know who you are. And they probably don't listen to the podcast because they're in their own world anyway. But so the sketch rants sort of became that. And then now it's going to go into production diary, That's the third phase.